Hi, welcome to the Gospel Reflection for the third Sunday of Easter, which is Luke 24:13-34, the story of the Emmaus disciples and how Jesus, the living Christ, was made known to these two in the breaking of the bread. I'd like to start with a verse from one of the Psalms for today. Psalm 116, verse 7, "Return, O my soul, to your rest, for the Lord has dealt bountifully with you." This morning's readings also include something here from The Soul's Slow Ripening, a beautiful book by Christine Walters Painter, the poet. She writes here on one of the Celtic saints. She looked at the world as if for the very first time she could finally see how her God was always on the side of freedom, how everything glistens, and how we must risk everything, trust we were meant for this, as if telling the truth for the first time, as if our hearts had been plucked out too and set ablaze for all the world to see. And so my prayer for us today is that we would be given the eyes to recognize the living Christ and to see that everything is actually alive with God, that everything glistens and, as she said, is ablaze. So I love the sense of opening our eyes to the living presence of Christ as if for the first time. I think there's something deeply spiritual about naivety. In other words, coming to God, coming to see Christ as if for the first time. This story of the two traveling to Emmaus from Jerusalem is set in the background of course, Luke and his gospel. Luke not only is writing about these disciples who have difficulty recognizing Jesus, he also accounts for other disciples. In other words, the 11 in Jerusalem who also have had a struggle to believe and to see that Christ is alive, is raised. And so we'll talk about this as part and parcel, really, of all four Gospels story, but especially in Luke. And what helps us to maybe understand Luke's perspective here is this reference from chapter 9. In Luke, chapter 9 is sort of the watershed gospel. One of the things